Coach, you guys just won the team title at the Duck Invitational. Talk about your team's performance and how proud you are of the guys.
The team's performance in Eugene was awesome. They really played well. We talked a lot about just having a belief in the way they walked and carried themselves into the week, and they did it for all 54 holes, and it paid off. I think the most impressive thing was the final round. It's the first time we've had the lead going into a tournament all year, and as a coach, you never really know how they're going to respond. With only one senior, a bunch of younger guys that have never been in that position really, but they never really, nothing fazed them. You know, we had a few things go wrong here and there, but they just kept plodding along and playing really well, so it was fun to watch.
Kevin Murphy had a career best, tied for third place. Talk about him as a freshman. Has he been everything that you thought he'd be this year?
Kevin's been solid. I think in his own mind, he probably thinks he should be better, but he's played really well. I think he started out awesome in the fall, kind of had a little lull in the start of this winter quarter, but now he's back on track, and I think that was just kind of him getting his footing, feeling good about school, and now he's used to it, so I think he's ready for a great rest of the season.
There are big expectations this year for David Fink. He struggled a little bit in the first day down at the Duck Invitational, but he bounced back on the second day. How would you think of his performance there and also the entire season?
I think, well, for sure, David was a little disappointed with how he played the first day. I think for me, though, as a coach, it was awesome that we were able to win a golf tournament without David playing his best. I think that, if anything, showed the guys that if we play and have all 5 guys playing, we can play with anybody. So hopefully we can build on that and keep going.
You've talked a lot about finding the 5th player, 5th golfer to help the team. Do you feel like you've found 5 golfers now, with all 5 of them stepping up last week?
Well, I think we've definitely identified another guy that can make a huge success, help our success. Brian Jung was awesome. It's interesting that his first tournament ever as a freshman last year in Colorado, he finished second and we won. He gets his next top 10 and we win again. So if Brian can play like I know he can play, then we're going to be pretty tough. Something that we talked about, if you look at his summer results compared to his school results, summer has always been really good. You would think that guy's got to be in your top 5 all the time. He's struggled to adjust to school a little bit. And I think, so he and I had a chat about that, and we just talked about it. In the summertime, he can just practice and play and do everything he wants 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and he just can't do that here. So he's got to be able to adjust to that. And it's for me as a coach making sure that I give him as much time as he needs to do his own thing, kind of like what he does in the summer, to help him feel more comfortable. You
have 2 tournaments coming up before the Pac-12 Championship. Talk about those tournaments, beginning with the Red Hawk Invitational, and what you hope the guys can do in these next 2 events.
Yeah, well, the next 2 events, Chambers Bay, which is where the Red Hawk Invitational is going to be, and then we travel directly from there out to Ohio State to play the Scarlet course. The thing I do know about both courses is that they're extremely tough. It's going to be a long, demanding golf course. Need to drive the ball well, but we proved last week at Emerald Valley, another very difficult golf course, that our guys can handle difficult conditions and difficult courses. So I think I'm really excited to see what happens, but I know that the guys are excited, and hopefully we can continue to build on this momentum of last week.
And do you set goals for these last 2 events or leading up to the Pac-12 Championship?
Not so necessarily a goal. We've talked a lot to the guys about, one, just being better every day, doing everything we can to make sure that when we leave the golf course, we're better than we were when we got there. And then 2 is just a belief and a confidence in themselves to carry themselves. In the spring, we did a pretty good job, like at Wyoming and then San Diego, but we weren't able to continue it for 54 holes. So the goal is to make sure we get better every day and then have that same confidence and belief throughout a whole 54 holes. And we did it at Eugene, and we ended up playing really well.
And with the Pac-12 Championship coming up down in Arizona, where do you see today your team standing among the conference, which is always one of the best in the nation?
Yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. We've got to play better. We've got to keep getting better. The Pac-12 conference is unbelievably tough. We're probably 7 or 8, 9, somewhere in there right now. But if we play our best, you never know. We'll see what happens.